Most RPGs strive for immersion. Big open worlds, full movement freedom, day-night cycles, NPCs pretending to live real lives. Well, never mind. But Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and its predecessor go the extra mile that actually makes the world feel real instead of a theme park. They dare to bore us.
Boring.
Because Warhorse Studios understood something most studios don't. Life is boring sometimes. It's annoying, mundane, repetitive. And that little sprinkle of everyday boredom makes the adventure feel alive. In this video, I'll break down 6 decisions that make Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 one of the most immersive RPGs ever made. Decisions that big, established studios almost never dare to make. As someone who grew up basically next door to the forest's Henry wonders, among the same kind of people the game portrays, KCD hits different for me. You see, these games are huge in my country. Even the media that normally wage war against evil video games compete over who gets to give Warhorse the full bathhouse treatment first. But Warhorse achieved something astonishing. They made millions of players around the world feel what our forests, villages and taverns feel like. For a bit, they let people live in our world. So buckle up. Here are 6 reasons why Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is one of the most immersive games ever made. KCD2's world doesn't wait for you. It doesn't care about you. And that's exactly why it feels alive. If you promise to help someone and don't show up at the agreed time, they may just go ahead without you and scold you later for letting them down.
One of the worst in the business.
But even beyond quests, the whole world has its own rhythm. And I'm not talking about merchants walking between 2 waypoints forever. People in KCD2 feel like real people. They get up in the morning, follow their routines, guards change shifts, emotions boil over and arguments break out right in the street. And at the end of the day, everyone goes to the tavern for a drink and a round of dice. Don't even think about waking someone up in the middle of the night. You probably won't get a sensible word out of them, and if you do, they'll call the guards because, after all, you did just break into their house. And you'd better look presentable if you want anyone to take you seriously. Nobody wants to negotiate with a filthy pig, even in 1400s Bohemia.
Oh, you stink like a pig! And you look like one. How rude.
And all this forces you to think. When to talk to people, what to wear, where the nearest bathhouse is, or at least a barrel of water to wash the blood off before trying your diplomatic luck. These systems aren't there to annoy you, they're there to immerse you. And believe me, after playing KCD2, you will think twice before leaving your real-life house without a torch. Where's your torch? Well, this folly will cost you dearly. You shall either like and subscribe, or be cast into the jail. Okay. Now be gone from my sight, peasant! When Dan Vavra pitched the idea of historically accurate RPG with no magic and no fantasy, most publishers thought he was insane. Cuckoo. Sure, Assassin's Creed claimed historical accuracy at the time. But even there, you basically play as an ancient Spider-Man flying across a medieval museum. Dan wanted more. He dug into historical literature, took his team on trips to the actual locations, and studied architecture, clothing, weaponry and everything. The result is a world that feels astonishingly real. If you ever visit my country, which I strongly recommend, you can literally walk the same cobblestones, see the same decorations on the same buildings, and get lost in the same forests Henry did when visiting Bozena. And if you don't want to travel on foot, you can fast travel in-game, which still makes you watch Henry walk through the countryside.
No. Wait.
We got you good, didn't we?
And even then, the game can interrupt fast travel with real-world events, bandits, wolves, ambushes, no convenient shortcuts. The fashion system is another crazy detail. You can't just throw on the cool armor you just looted. You need layers, undergarments, padding, armor, then a helmet with proper head protection. This multi-layer clothing system was so heavy that it caused major performance issues in the first game, since most PCs struggled to render dozens of NPCs wearing 5 or 6 layers of clothing at once. And there was also the controversy about the lack of non-white characters in KCD1. Vavra stood his ground, arguing, correctly, that there simply weren't as many non-white people in 1400s Bohemia. Warhorse did include a person of color in KCD2.
Christ almighty. Are you alright, sir? Here we go again.
But gave him a fully believable historical background. And somehow, people still criticize them, either for being too rigid or for being woke. I guess you really can't please everyone. If you start KCD2 expecting assassination contracts or political intrigue right away, well,
forget about it.
KCD2 simulates life, and life is chores. You carry sacks to wagons, a running gag in Dan Vavra's games. Both Mafia games he worked on had you carrying crates into trucks. KCD swaps trucks for wagons and crates for grain sacks, but the message stays the same. Thanks for playing our game, now go earn the adventure. Henry is no genius, he's barely competent, so to progress he has to learn. And learning means doing. Want to brew a potion? Well, read the recipe and then practice. Want to fight better? Train with a master. In KCD1 Henry couldn't even read, you literally needed a tutor. And chores aren't the only mundane systems. A number of quests consist of drinking with friends, singing, or even drawing penises on bulls. Because what the game wants to show us is that medieval life wasn't just suffering and blood. It was friendship, stupidity and fun. Just like today, only with worse hygiene. Combat was one area where Warhorse actually dialed things back for KCD2. In the first game, combat was so immersive it became borderline overwhelming. You had 6 attack directions, 2 attack buttons, directional blocking and timing windows, all at once. The idea was brilliant, but some players straight up bounced off it.
Fuck this shit.
Warhorse polished and streamlined the system for KCD2. Now we have 4 attack directions, perfect parry mechanic and more readable animations. It is still realistic, still heavy, but you don't need a chiropractor appointment after a battle. It feels challenging and grounded, without feeling like someone threw you into a late game level of Arkanoid.
Henry, our hero Henry, the fellow who helps his fellow man.
KCD2 features a predetermined protagonist, Henry, with a personal past and defined fate. On paper, that should actually hurt immersion. But it doesn't. Henry is not a chosen one, he's not a superhero. He's a guy, like most of us.
Get your act together, we're in deep shit! Get up now!
Henry is the ultimate guy next door, thrown into history. You don't control a floating camera, you are Henry. He learns, like we do. He grows, like we do. He gets hungry, tired, injured, and needs to sleep and eat even when the mission he's on is important.
I feel quite hungry.
Henry is the emotional core of the game. He hits hard because we understand him. We've been him.
Sing and shag. Oh, the king of shaggy sing.
Immersion isn't one giant mechanic, it's a number of tiny ones. So here are some small honorable mentions. Horses have distinct behaviors and stats. People greet you on the road. Food spoils in your inventory and can poison you. Bandages must be applied to the correct injured body part, because how else? These aren't necessary by any means to make a good game, but they are the extra mile that makes Come Deliverance 2 special. So, why don't more studios do this? It's certainly not the budget. Assassin's Creed cost 4 times as much and still struggles with immersion. It's because immersion is risky, it's subtle, it can be boring. And you can't put NPCs doing their laundry on the back of the box. So big studios chase a different kind of boredom. Oversaturation. Constant rewards, constant icons, constant stimulation, but no time to live in the world. KCD2 does the opposite. It doesn't treat you like a hero, it treats you like a person, with flaws, needs, strengths, and a life that feels lived. And that, ironically, is what makes it unforgettable. Let me know in the comments if I forgot something. I'll catch you in the next one.